Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Saturday, February 21st, 2015, around 6:16 in the morning in Berwick, Massachusetts. Sun's coming out. We might see some sun this morning, but in the afternoon, we're going to get some snow. Some places could reach up to 5 inches before the rain comes. Some news to report: the St. Louis Blues beat the Boston Bruins by a score of 5-1. Malcolm Subban's debut as an NHL goaltender was rough. He was taken out and they put Raskin. The Bruins aren't a very good team, and I have a funny feeling they're not going to make the playoffs, and Peter Chiarelli's job's probably in jeopardy, and Claude Julien's job is probably safe because I don't think the Bruins want to eat up his 3-year contract, which he just signed, which takes effect next year. They probably don't want to pay him 3 extra years. Also, the Sacramento Kings beat the Boston Celtics by a score of 109-101. And the UMass Lowell Riverhawks beat the tied with the BC College Eagles in hockey by a score of 2-2 last night at the Heights. And that's about it on that. My next subject is the continuation series of Everything and Everything. I reached the top 10 best submission holds in professional wrestling history. Submission holds are like brutal and stuff, and once you get it put on, you're going to be tapping out. And here are the top 10 submission moves of all time in professional wrestling history, which are the best. Number 10 is the abdominal stretch. You don't see this move anymore. It was used effectively by Dominic DeNucci and Tony Garea, and once you got the abdominal stretch on, it was over. Number 9 on this list is the sleeper hold. The sleeper hold was a very great move. It would put you to sleep, and once you had your arms down 3 times, you were out. And perfecting sleeper hold was Rowdy Piper, Vern Gagne, and a few others. They had like a modified version of the sleeper called the $1 Million Dream, which was Ted DiBiase, and also the Cobra Clutch. It was from Sergeant Slaughter, and the Cut the Matcha Hay, the Taz mission by Taz. So that's being included with the sleeper hold. Number 8 on this list of the top 10 greatest submission wrestling moves of all time is the spinning toe hold. Spinning toe hold was famous for Terry Funk. He used this submission a lot when he was the NWA World Champion, and it was a very great submission move. That comes in at number 8. Number 7 on this list of the greatest submission wrestling moves of all time, the bear hug. The bear hug was a very brutal move. It was used with a submission by Bruno Sammartino and superstar Billy Graham. Once you got your thing in the bear hug, it was over. Number 6 on this list of the greatest submission wrestling moves in professional wrestling history is the crossface chicken wing. The crossface chicken wing was done by former WWE champion Bob Backlund. He did this during the middle of his 6-year title reign as WWE champion. He did it to switch from the atomic knee drop because of his knees, and when he cinched it in, you were going to tap out. This also became famous in 1994 when Bob Backlund turned heel. He put the crossface chicken wing on like crazy, and he was cinching it in, and he would not let go until you say, "I quit, Mr. Backlund." A modification of the crossface chicken wing was the buzzkill by Six, also known as X-Pac and Sean Waltman and 1-2-3 Kid, who used that in WCW. That comes in at number 6. Number 5 on this list of the best submission wrestling moves of all time, the Texas Cloverleaf. The Texas Cloverleaf is like a kind of a modified version of the Boston Crab, which you have to grab like it's a lifting thing. It was famous by Dean Malenko, man of 1,000 holds in WWE and WCW. It was a brutal submission move. That comes in at number 5. Number 4 on this list of greatest submission holds in professional wrestling history, the backbreaker. The backbreaker was devastating. It was famous for Jesse the Body Ventura and Lex Luger. Lex Luger called it the Rebel Rack in WWE when it was made in the USA, and I loved Lex Luger's backbreaker, and he won the WCW World title with that in 1997 against Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Once you had the Rebel Rack, it was over. Number 3 on the all-time list of the greatest submission wrestling moves of all time, the Full Nelson. The Full Nelson was perfected by Billy Jack Haynes, Hercules Hernandez, and Ken Patera, which he called it the swinging neck breaker. Once you got the thing cinched on the Full Nelson, you were going to tap out. There was no way you were going to break it. And also, it was also known as the Master Lock by Chris Masters in the WWE. And they had that challenge that nobody broke the Master Lock. That was just a gimmick back in the mid-2000s. Number 2 on this list of the greatest submission moves in professional wrestling history, the Sharpshooter, also known as Scorpion Deathlock. The Sharpshooter was perfected by Bret the Hitman Hart. It was a modification of the Boston Crab, where he would lock the legs in and you would tap out. It was perfected as the Scorpion Deathlock by Sting. Also using the Sharpshooter was the Rocket Owen Hart, and that was a very submission move. I like that move of all time. But the number 1 favorite submission move in professional wrestling history, the Figure 4 leg lock. The Figure 4 leg lock was perfected by Nature Boy Buddy Rogers, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and the 16-time world champion Nature Boy Ric Flair. Woo! Once these people got the Figure 4 leg lock, you were going to tap out. No way to break it, unless if you rolled it over and stuff like that. But once they got it cinched on you, it was a matter of time. You were going to give up. And that's about it on these submission moves, some of the best ever. Well, I'll be back later. Facebook friends, YouTube followers, Daily Motion, Twitter. 2 more video blogs coming to you later on in today. First one is about the MBTA Blue Line. I'll tell you about the history of that and maybe some expansion in the near future. And also the third and final video blog of the night will be about a baseball issue about why the Tampa Bay Rays and the Oakland A's need new ballparks in order to survive in their markets, because they play in outdated stadiums, and there's no move to build stadiums in that area. And coming soon to these video blogs will be the top 10 greatest Mariners players and pitchers of all time, and that will conclude my list of the 30 teams' best players and pitchers in the top 10 list. And also, when it's Ric Flair's birthday on Wednesday, it's going to be the top 10 greatest Ric Flair matches of all time. And next Saturday's probably going to be the last top 10 list for a while, because it's going on hiatus because of March Madness. And so much March Madness is going to happen on these video blogs. WrestleMania reviews, going to review many of them. Plus, there'll be like March Madness for the NCAA basketball tournament, 2015 Major League Baseball predictions and previews, and maybe Julie Broughton and Heidi Pratt's video blogs. 2 cute blondes with great smiles and nice legs. See you later, Facebook, YouTube, Daily Motion, Twitter. Bye now.